Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is essentially just a recap of the parkour that's happened in Northern Ireland this year so far. This was originally going to be a vlog of my trip to For the Love of Movement in Den Haag at the start of the year, and as I've just procrastinated and gained other footage and friends have done other parkour, I've procrastinated my way into a completely different project altogether. But we're still going to try and cover it. For the Love of Movement is a parkour event that I've never been to before. I went to the winter jam this year with no insurance documentation and having lost my ticket the night that I left, so I was pretty anxious about being let in and flying to the country. However, no one asked any questions, so I was allowed into the event, and let me tell you, I've never experienced anything like that compared to the three-person jams that we have in Northern Ireland usually. Having an entire sports centre filled with free runners is amazing hype energy. I didn't actually film all that much, just based on how much I was talking to other people and training without asking them to film. I did get pretty sick at the end, and I was able to ride it out in my hammock and return safely, but it is just a shame about the coronavirus, as it really got me on the vibe of parkour events, and who knows when the next For the Love of Movement ever will be, but I'm keeping my eyes and ears out on all things For the Love of Movement. Speaking of parkour events, a few weeks after that, Bradley, Mark and a couple other guys went down to Ollerup, which I was really upset to miss, as it might have been my last chance to get a jam in a long time. Bradley actually made an edit of that trip and got a lot of sick footage of a lot of the guys doing cool stuff, and just looked like an awesome trip to be on. I'm really sorry if the audio quality goes down significantly here. It's just started to rain really badly and I have no audio equipment, so apologies. Unfortunately, as this was happening, coronavirus happened, so no more travel, no more jams outside. Training with one or two other people at the maximum has become the normal right now. Luckily around this time, George had just stocked up on a lot of clips in the playground, as well as him and James hitting some really ridiculous challenges outside as well in one of the Modus vlogs. Those boys really going off until tragedy strikes. James Dixon once again injured. Recently James has been making a lot of progress, and we can only hope for a speedy recovery and he returns. And just as you think 2020 is ruined, Taggart comes out with the announcement of his new documentary, Winging It, on MoveMag. This follows him, Matt McCreary and Oleg, last name unpronounceable, as they learn how to survive travelling in Spain, Europe, on what is essentially no money, and just doing parkour and living in questionable yet very fun housing. I don't think I can call it housing. It's incredible. It reminds me when I was first learning about parkour, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who is interested in parkour content at all. It's been really helpful to watch that while we wait for Soul Destroyer, which George promises is coming out at some point, and from all of Jaz's Instagram stories, could either come out tomorrow or in 2 weeks from now. And so with all this content coming out, even in the quarantine, from a lot of the guys, the buzz in the community as a general was just really good. The playground has closed for now. It's been the only parkour facility in Northern Ireland for the last while, and although a lot of cool content was produced there in the last couple of months before it closed down, we'll have to keep our eyes and ears open about how we can progress with the reopening of the facility. Another thing I was doing for Paul though was releasing a couple of home training videos, which helped me do some more training in my garden, try and highlight a couple of key aspects that some of our kids from the classes can try at home. This came out alongside a blog that was for our members of the playground gym. A lot of the kids who come to the classes obviously won't be able to keep up their training, so it was just some stuff that they can do in their garden, and with some of the equipment that could possibly be purchased from the Jump NI website. That's probably as close to merch as we'll get for now, but yeah, you can actually buy some of the boxes that we use in the gym. Paul's made them himself. They are super grippy and they're super helpful if you can't get down to any spots or to a parkour gym right now. Highly recommend them. They'll be in the description below. While James is injured, he's edited just a cracking video of some of the guys from Carrick, aptly named Carrick Boys. It's got James, George, Josh, Ryan just doing some of the best of their movement over the last couple years. Really good compilation, and especially if you haven't familiarised yourself with them, which you will be crazy to be in that camp right now if you're watching this video. Highly recommend it. I'll put all of this stuff in the description below. I actually was doing quite a bit of training as well myself until recently. I got Anthony Copeland out just to one bang a jump that has haunted me for a while, and he's still got it, so hopefully when we're back training he'll continue. I have badly sprained my ankle on a double front flip. First 2 attempts were sweet, third attempt I bodied myself, and then I tried to set a 4th one, and my technique and power were not as good as the last 3 attempts, and I landed on my ankle pretty badly. But it's feeling much better, and I'll hopefully get out training soon. Nothing serious. So it is looking positive for parkour, though at the moment quite annoying to try and find the time or just the possibility to train in any form. But it's been pretty promising, and compared to any other years in recent memory, there seems to be a lot of potential for parkour in Northern Ireland right now. So there you go, that's a pretty quick recap of what's gone on in 2020 in the parkour community in Northern Ireland. If you weren't aware of someone I've mentioned today or one of the projects, I hope I could have shared something that you'll find interesting. It is awesome to have so many guys moving again. I can't remember a time in recent memory where so many guys have talked about coming back off a hiatus, or, well, a lot of guys actually have started training again, which is awesome to see. And as soon as this virus is over, we're definitely going to see some really cool projects, just like we have in the last couple of weeks here. As the coronavirus ends, I really hope to see this trend continue. It's been such a fun time to be in the community as well as watching the content that's being produced. The training has changed from 2 or 3 guys training consistently to 6 or 7 people training a lot, really pushing themselves, and then the wider community around that in Northern Ireland expanding as well. So I will really be excited to see how this changes as time goes on. But until then guys, I will see you next time.